So here's a quick tip that I'm using while I'm storyboarding. I've made my own little light table out of a piece of Tupperware that has kind of a flat bottom on it so I can draw on it, and a headlamp so I can put the headlamp underneath the Tupperware, and whenever I need to copy a storyboard for a duplicate kind of a duplicate shot but for the same composition, and I'm going to copy that, I can just slide a new card right on top of that, put it on my light table and my Tupperware light table, and start tracing over it, so it'll speed up storyboarding a little more quickly, and so I don't have to duplicate the same board in the editing software when I make the animatic, so it's not ambiguous what the action is. So I can make the same, this is like the bathroom scene, so I can make the same kind of a composition because the camera probably isn't going to move, but then me in frame, then I can go in and change the drawing. So that is how to make your own light table and start storyboarding and duplicate storyboards. So right now I am taking all of these storyboards and I need to digitize them to get them into the computer. So what I'm doing is I've made this little thing on the wall so that I can slide these cards in and out, so that they'll be framed the exact same way for every board inside the camera. I'm making sure I'm shooting the small JPEG size. They'll roughly be in the same spot. And then because they're roughly in the same spot, then once I open Lightroom, I can batch crop everything. I can batch select and sync all of those things in Lightroom. Is a really nice effect of Lightroom. I have had to reorganize these boards probably 4 or 5 times because my dog likes to sit up here. So just imagine what this would look like once my dog gets up there and roots around. What do you think, man? Are you comfortable? Your tongue is sticking out? You're like, get that thing away from me. So anyway, that's a little secret to the storyboarding process to kind of streamline digitizing these hand-drawn storyboards, is to set this up on the wall. These are basically like 2 little cut-off pieces of other cards and taped to the wall, so they're organized the same way. So I can slide each board in and out and take pictures of it and sync all of the changes I would need to make cropping wise in Lightroom before I bring all of those into either Premiere or Final Cut. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet, at least for the animatic. So that's a little behind the scenes storyboarding secret for you that I've just kind of created. I've never done this kind of a thing before, but it seems to be working pretty well. All right. Okay, now that I've got the storyboards, the pictures taken, I made sure they were in JPEG, and so the file size was much smaller. And so now that I'm in Lightroom, I can select all of these to import. Let me uncheck all because I don't want to take everything from the card. And then once I have my stuff selected, I can just hit one checkbox and it selects all of the boards. Now I'll hit import. This will take a second. Okay, now that the photos are imported, if I wanted to, I could enter in metadata for the photos. I could rate them. You know, if this was like you're shooting a wedding, this is kind of what Lightroom is for, is because you have so much, you'd have so many pictures, you'd kind of want to organize them. But since I know these are all storyboards, I don't need to do that in the library tab up here in the top right where my mouse is. So now I can go straight to develop because I know I just want to crop, kind of globally crop all of these. So then I can really just select the first one and kind of get it pretty close for the crop. And then I can apply as well a little bit of color correction, and I'll just kind of get this in general kind of close because I know all of these boards aren't going to be totally spot on. If I really got particular about it, I could, I guess maybe I could track this in After Effects, like a corner of one of these or something, and
to correct for it. But I probably won't do that because this is all just kind of for me. So now we've cropped this one. I'm getting the white balance correct and gonna kind of maybe adjust the exposure a little bit. Curves over here, just so, because I drew with a pencil, some of the lines are kind of light. And I might bump up the exposure just a little bit. So it's at the higher end. And then we can see down here, that change has not yet gone to all of them. So basically when you want to do that, you just select the first one. That's going to apply to the rest, and then you shift select the rest. And down here, once you have more than one selected, in the bottom right, you get a sync button. And so when I click sync, it'll ask me if I want what I want to synchronize. These are all the different effects you can do, and I need to make sure I click crop over here because I did crop it and I do want to apply that. Normally you don't want to sync a crop because every picture is different, but because it's not in this case, we can synchronize the crop, and hopefully it should be fairly close. And you kind of see it update dynamically down here in the thumbnails. The color correction hasn't taken effect yet, but it'll probably run through here again, or I might have to click on these for it to update the thumbnail for the color correction. So yeah, randomly it's updated this one. Yeah, see, here we go. Now it's updating the color correction as we go through here, and the crop. So now they're all popping into place as they should. So now once this finishes, I can right click on one of these, select these, and export them as a smaller JPEG for import as a sequence into Premiere or Final Cut or whatever editing software you're going to do to create your animatic. And I'll have to do a little alignment issues, but this is pretty much it. It's pretty quick, digitizing some note cards that I just got from the dollar store, and they were like $1 a piece for a pack of 100 cards. Take pictures of them, put them in through here, digitize them, and now I can make my animatic and make sure the timing is going to work out. So that is the continuation of the boards.